have a good side, so we're just taking whatever.
Yeah, that's great.
Hey, Frank.
Yes. Hi.
Okay, we're gonna open the meeting. I feel like I'm all discombobulated here. We're gonna open the meeting at 7:01. I think it is 7:01. Yeah,
Okay, Trustee Barry here.
present.
Trustee Altman here. Trustee Kress.
Yes, here, present.
Legal counsel Jim Matthews here. Fiscal Officer Brian Gillette is here. Please stand for pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I can't.
It's okay. I wanted to move to amend the agenda. I wanted to add new business item G is the Dennis Kennedy agreement. And I wanted to add resolution 142, which is hold on one second, it's the 4 mil renewal levy for safety services.
And I think that Kennedy agreement should be titled, like, I believe it's strategic.
It is strategic communication services. Yep.
Great.
So I have a motion from Trustee Spare. Do I have a second? Okay, and to approve the amendment to the agenda of the new business item G and resolution 142, Trustee Zver.
Yes.
Trustee Altman.
Yes.
And Trustee Kress.
Yes,
Thank you.
Okay, and we have a proclamation. Trustee Kress?
how about doing it?
No, I think I should do it.
How about you, Riley?
How about you, Riley? You
Yeah,
can do
go
it.
ahead. Frank, it's a good thing you showed up.
Yeah, I know.
Stand up.
All right, you ready for this?
Go stand up. Stand up at a flag or something.
Come,
Go to him. Go to him.
Come on. All right. I had to help a neighbor. Frank. Whereas viable and vital communities are built neighbor by neighbor, helping and supporting one another, finding common ground, establishing friendships, working together to elevate the quality of life for all residents. And whereas Columbia Park has been such a neighborhood since the mid-1950s, providing for many residents a new home in a neighborhood as they downsize but determined to age in place. And whereas to ensure that residents' welfare and concerns would be addressed in a formalized and organized manner, the HOTA, Homeowners and Tenants Association, was established. And whereas this organization and its greatest advocate, Frank Poyman, have ensured residents are represented and have a voice in the management of Columbia Park, that their voices are heard and their concerns addressed. And whereas whether advocating for a resident's rent strike or conversation and collaboration with park management one-on-one, Frank Poyman has worked tirelessly to improve the quality of life for residents in this primarily senior community. And whereas Frank Poyman has worked to build meaningful bridges with township safety forces, Frank is an advocate and regular attendee at Coffee with the Chiefs. He is the recognized Santa at township events and a proponent and cheerleader for the township. And whereas Frank Poyman has sought on many occasions to educate the residents on issues of importance to manufactured homeowners and to represent Columbia Park, the largest manufactured home park in the state of Ohio, in organizations throughout the state of Ohio. And whereas Frank Poyman has invested time, talent, expertise, corporate and governmental connections to serve his friends and neighbors. Now, therefore, let it be proclaimed that the Board of Trustees of Olmsted Township recognize and honor Frank Poyman and his service to Columbia Park and to the entire Olmsted Township community on this date, 13th of December, 2023. Right.
Do all those things because I want to do them. My whole life has been trying to make people's lives better. Police, fire has been my main concern. And of course, the residents for the last 24 years in Columbia Park. We got pretty hit hard in 2001. And with the aid of the trustees and safety forces, we've endeavored a lot. And it for me to be up here by myself, I'm very humbled. But there's a lot of people that stand behind me that to help me along through these years of working in Columbia Park and making things better for them. So Larry, you're one of the fellows that's right there too. And I thank everybody for helping me and the trustees, and it's been a great ride. And
Just like all of us, Frank, you're here on behalf of others, and we're grateful for
I
that.
appreciate that very much.
Let us sign
Thank you.
that first.
We gotta
We'll
sign
it.
Yeah, we'll sign it, we'll give it to you at the end. Thank you.
Yeah, with everything going on tonight, I think we should have it, Frank Poyman and Jeanene Kress Day in the township.
Exactly.
And I don't think either of them would appreciate that.
No,
very much.
that's not happening.
Okay,
Do we want to sign this now or after?
we can sign it out.
After.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Okay, so we're going to start with committee reports. I have vacillated back and forth about whether to even say anything about Jeanene and her last. Don't. This is her last meeting, official meeting for the Board of Trustees. I cannot even believe it. After 12 years, I've served with Jeanene for 8 of those years. It has been my pleasure and honor to have served with one of the most amazing women I think I have ever met. In my life. She's just been a champion for the township. She's probably one of the hardest working women I've ever met in my entire life. She exhausts me. I know she exhausts her family. But she just constantly go. I mean, she just doesn't, she's like that Energizer bunny that just keeps going and going and going and going. And she never ever stops, and she never takes no for an answer. And she always finds another way and another idea, it's been incredible. I'm in awe of everything that she's accomplished over the 12 years, and even her service on the school board. She's a mentor to me. She is a dear friend. She's almost been like a mom in a lot of ways to me. I can't say enough wonderful things about Jeanene and everything that she has given. When I tell you that this woman has given her heart, her soul, her time, her talents to Olmsted Township, it goes without saying. I mean, I have never met anybody quite like Jeanene Kress. And I just wanted to say that, and that's my report. Trustee Alton?
Very good. Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm also planning to dispense with my report before turning it over to my honorable Chair Emeritus. But in all seriousness, though, I think since Jeanene doesn't want to have a party, I think this is the appropriate time to give remarks and talk about her service. Just briefly, not too much, but I mean, your fingerprints are all over this place, Jeanene.
Yeah,
I mean,
bad.
all over. And, whether that's, as a trustee or just to add to all the great things Lisa said, your time and service on the school board, right? Which is in many ways the crown jewel of our community. And it's why so many young families move here. And I would argue that the work that you've put in, not only as a township trustee, but as the president of the school board and a school board member, you changed the trajectory of many people's lives, including myself as a child in this school system, right? And I think I completely echo everything that Lisa said about you being a strong and steady hand for the township and the board of trustees, getting it through some good times, some bad times, but you were there through it all. And I just want to say, thank you. Thank you not only for everything that you've done for the township over the years, but thank you for what you've done for me in a short time. You kind of took me under your wing, when I was, brand new, and I still feel brand new in a lot of ways, but I really came in with no idea. And I was, at many times very brash, and fussy and arrogant, and I can still be a lot of those things. And I'm sorry for the times that I've been too fussy.
Okay, I'm fussy and arrogant. I think pretty much it's sure.
Sometimes, we have that in common. But in all seriousness, you've been a mentor to me, and I will remember you for the rest of my life. But more importantly, it really all boils down to one thing. You care about the people of Olmsted Township, and that is what you will be remembered for, right? I think that is. There's not a building big enough here to name after you. We could call it Kress Township. I don't think you'd like that very much. But I'm sure I appreciate your thoughts on all these things, and certainly any words of wisdom you have on your last public meeting. So I would love to yield any of my remaining time. So.
Thank you to both of you. You obviously have it. That's my family back there. And whenever, we've talked when my husband passed away, this is a little side, I said, when I go, I just want you to just know nothing. I said, I just would like you to say her life is her message and get off the podium. And one of my kids said, oh, so now you're Gandhi? Yeah, I am. I think your actions speak for yourself, and I appreciate all the good things. I never do like to have too much adulation. But I have my own comments. I've considered it a privilege to be a trustee, representing and serving Olmsted Township for 12 years. It hasn't always been fun, but the challenge has been well worth it. I've worked with a great group of elected officials, 6 trustees, and 2 fiscal officers. They came to the board with a desire to serve and to be part of ensuring that our community continued to move in a good and positive direction. Our leadership team is second to none. Outstanding men with a commitment to their department and agency and to their people. They are loyal to the board and the vision and mission of Olmsted Township. I'm proud of our staff who show up every day ready to do their job. They are the face and the spirit of the township, patrolling our neighborhoods, responding to emergency calls, taking calls, and making our operation run on the back end, maintaining our roads, buildings, and grounds. I want to thank our legal team and our consultants who work with us to ensure we are seeking solid advice and acting in the best interest of the township. I've met wonderful people at County and through our collaboration with other agencies. They've been our partners and have helped us accomplish what might have seemed impossible 15 years ago. I'm proud of our many accomplishments, brick and mortar, like the completion of this building, 2 parks, cold storage building, our road and sidewalk program. On another front, I'm proud of our newsletter, positive press on our community events, our fiscal integrity, and our receipt of many grants. I want to thank my family for their support and care.
You can do it. Come on.
I wish they weren't here today. I have every confidence in the ability of the new board, the fiscal officer, and the township administrator to meet the challenges of the coming months and years. Their plans for the future will ensure success. Most of all, I want to thank our residents, business community for their support, confidence, and trust in me.
That's it.
And my life is my message. Gandhi and Jeanene. Okay, you can go to FLB. They said they weren't gonna stay for the whole meeting because they're off to see FLB.
FLBs, yeah. Okay. Department reports, gonna start with the fire department.
Of course. We're gonna stick around for this.
Don't count on it, they're probably walking out right on.
All right. Today is the report for December 13th, 2003. The chief, me, has issued a recognition to Derek Vondervellen. He'll get it eventually. For his outstanding work at keeping the wellness and resiliency grants, providing our firefighters ease of work training for their respective shifts, and the International Association of Firefighters resiliency training to 25 firefighters. This was offered to us at a no cost to the community departments at German Club on November 28th. Just like anything else that I accomplished, there are people above and below me that are parts of it that help or facilitate this. And Derek has been the Bears version of the work to get the resiliency grant to keep our firefighters mentally in good shape. And he has done a lot of coordination and helped me rewrite the grant and facilitate it all the way through. So I wanted to take a minute to recognize him, and I do have a formal recognition that we'll be doing at the station. On the training front, we continue to train on with the new engine, working with the pumps, post-deployment, ladder, and extrication work, mainly getting everything exactly where it should be and making sure that we're ready to deploy on anything that comes our way. EMS training this month is Southwest on pediatric illness and the iGel device. It is a device that we put down so the stroke to be able to breathe for them. This quarter is fire rescue training is spinal motion restriction. That's the backboards or preventive methods to get people onto the cot to the hospital without making anything worse. The aerial ladder certification is this month. Pump tests were completed at the end of last month. Everything went well with pump tests, and we'll know about the aerial certification soon. Banner in the front, promote fire prevention month. We took the kids from ECC and Olmsted Falls Intermediate School. They completed posters. We took the 2 contest winners last week to school with our special guest Sparky. The kids loved every minute of it. The parents loved every minute of it. The class loved every minute of it, and most of the teachers that were peeking out of the windows loved every minute of it. So, we also are still waiting on the AFG grant. We're hoping it opens up in January, and the Arbor Retention grant has been completed. Funding should be coming back to the township to reimburse us for everything we bought and spent on this month or early next month. Total incidents in 2023 up over 207 runs from last year. And that's still climbing. As of the time we made this report, 2,113 runs. So we're definitely getting busier here, increase in population, increase in call volume. We had 222 incidents in November. We had 12 fires, including working fire in your backyard, and 157 EMS runs, 5 motor vehicle accidents, and 5 gas leaks, other sundry calls. Her life is her message, but what about the other lives that she's touched? Trustee Kress hired me about 5.5 years ago. Not sure why. Kept me in line. She saw through all of our bovine stupiditis there at the fire department and was always there to give her point of view and keep us on the right track. I made her mad, so she promoted me and made me the fire chief. I've always been impressed with her long vision. Everything that we're doing right now, the new engine, the new ambulance, the improvements that we're making are part of a vision that her and the other board members saw years ago. that makes me look good as the fire chief, but as I said, everybody sitting in front of me is a part of that. And they saw this a long time ago to be able to build ourselves up to where we are now. So, yeah, your life may be your message, but you also live on in all of us.
That's what we did.
Thank you. That is my point.
Thank you. They service department.
Don't cry, Mark. It's okay.
Yeah. Good evening, Service Department's report for December 13th. Some updates on some county issues or county work. Stearns Road project. Great Lakes tentatively was going to open the southbound lane, which is the new pavement. This week, they prolonged that to the end of next week. Part of the reasoning is we're getting quite a bit of good weather and they want to complete even more sidewalk and aprons. They're about 98% complete on that southbound lane. So the good news is for me and my department, as far as salting and plowing, we will now be driving on a nice old concrete road instead of the pothole filled roadway. So like I say, there again next week, that should be completed and the southbound traffic will be directed into that new part of the road. Gary and myself attended the Township 2014 maintenance meeting with the county on Monday. They basically gave us a project list, what they were looking at to maintain their roadways. They had drove as an entity throughout the township and kind of looked at all the county roadways and kind of gave us a project list of things that they would like to see maintained on those roadways. We had one snow event on 11/28. We had just under 2 inches of snow. We used just over 31 tons on our county roadways of salt, and we used 24, almost 25 tons on our subdivisions. Force account total for November was $63,595.27, bringing our yearly total to $469,911.80. Good news at the Park. Columbia Fence has finally started the actual fencing, the actual dog fencing. All the posts are installed. We're waiting for the chain link and gate aspect of that project, but that is a good start. I'm very appreciative. A little change in the report here. 3Z has completed the third pass. Our crew went out today and actually took down addresses of every pile in the township. And tomorrow 3Z will be doing their final and fourth week. Our crew also installed 400 feet of snow fence that's at the corner of Mackenzie and Cook, and also the west end of Cook. They also installed more. This obviously is to deter the blowing of snow on the roadway. We're keeping up with all the potholes. It's not too bad, thankfully. A lot of our roads have been replaced. Lewis used to be horrendous for potholes, so keeping up on it, not quite as much as we're accustomed to do, which is a good thing. A lot of litter pickup throughout the township. We're doing a lot of shoulder and berm work, line of sight work. It's nice to do line of sight work on trees when you don't have vegetation on them, they're kind of dormant, makes it a lot easier. We also cleared vegetation at all 6 culverts on Cook Road. Facilities and equipment, a lot of painting at fire and police. Guys are doing a great job. We completed, of course, all of our holiday decor, our 45 Christmas trees in front of Town Hall. We had a great tree lighting ceremony. Went perfectly. They all went on, and that's what we always do. We dropped off household hazardous waste. The Cuyahoga County Solid Waste District was almost 1,500 pounds. This, of course, is the waste that residents bring twice a month to us. Used oil, household, any of that sort of thing. We take in, we barrel it and do all that and take it into the.
Awesome training, Mike Inman, and I attended Cleveland Southwood Safety Council presentation on safety in the workplace. Josh Halco and myself attended a young tree trimming training. Oh, say that a few times.
Yeah.
At the Strongsville Rec Center, was a very good class. And also on January 5th, we will have our last employee, hopefully, fingers crossed, to obtain his CDL. He will be taking his test and will be back up to 700 individuals, which I'm very happy.
That's great.
And then a happy birthday to Jonathan Jarris. That's on December 10th. And that concludes my report. If the board allows me, if you would also do a special person. Which, so if I don't make it through this, just go to commercial. I can't even watch the end of Marley. My apologies. So I read a book by Donald Miller called A Million Miles in 1,000 Years. The premise of the book is that Mr. Miller really shows that when we start making our life like a good story, our lives become filled with meaning. I immediately thought of Jeanene Kress and all of her accomplishments and her story. Her wife, her mother, teacher, business owner, public official. And I thought, hell, I had a lot of work to do. I want to thank you for inspiring me to improve my story. You definitely have. All your generosity, your heart of service, your tenacity for always being willing to be in the arena and not in the stands. Most importantly, the story had a common meaning, more important than any of those. Very similar to another special person. He had a student give his piece of paper out to the students and wanted them to write what they thought his meaning to life was. And one of the students wrote, the meaning of your life is to help others find the meaning of theirs. And I know that's what Jeanene would write. And I know it's what I'll write. So I thank you, Jeanene, more than you ever know. That's all.
Thank you, Eric.
That is my report, actually.
Thank you. Okay, police department.
Okay.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I always like to start off and recognize my personnel, and one of them that is going for a years of recognition is Ed Baylor. Ed's been with us now for 8 years, and Ed wears a lot of hats. He does a lot for our agency. He's a trainer, he's an FTO, he's a mentor, and anything Ed touches, he gives 100% of his effort and value because he cares about the organization and those that he serves. And Ed brings a lot of value to our organization. I know that Ed's a future leader, as he goes further in his career with Olmsted Township. He loves it here. He loves the people he works with. He loves the community. We're very grateful to have Ed. So, 8 years now, as of November 22nd, Ed Baylor. Thank you, Ed, for all your service. We're making a transition over to Motorola P1, and I just also want to give a good shout out to the thankful staff who work tirelessly to troubleshoot, install, diagnose a myriad of computer and software IT issues. They wear a lot of different hats. They're police officers first and foremost, but they really took on a lot of different roles to help with the Motorola P1's inception and networking of the not only the Motorola, if you will, the project, but also we got a new printer, and it wasn't just plug and play. There was a lot of networking, and they had to diagnose and do a lot of those things. So countless hours were spent performing functions that were a lot of times outside their daily duties, but ultimately their hard work and their perseverance paid off, ensuring efficient operations at our PD. And that specifically goes out to my Lieutenant Scott Sonneborn, Corey Sears, who's my sergeant, one of my sergeants, and also Detective Heath Code. All three of those guys work tirelessly to make sure that each one of these things works within our agency, and if they don't, they make phone calls to those touch points, if you will, to make sure that we continue with our operations. So it's been a crazy last 2 weeks, and even before that, and they've done a great job. I just want to recognize them. As for our training, usually this time of year, we try to get training wrapped up and we've done a good job with that. Everything's done. The big thing that you want to make sure that you're done with is your CPT or continuing police training, which is a annual requirement for every officer to stay commissioned. That has been done and submitted, and we're completed with all that. There's no last minute fills, if you will, or anybody needs to complete that. All our training is done. And the only thing we're doing now is just roll call training. But everything else is placed on hold until 2024. With that being said, we had total training hours for our agency for 2023 of 2,770 hours, which is an increase from last year as well. We do a lot of training. We do. And with that, that just keeps, we make sure we're doing best practice and that our officers are well educated and keeping on point with, not only best practice, but new laws and everything else. So, and then of course, some of these, of course, like I said, are requirements from the state, and we're on point with those as well. So, we're going to continue to do the same thing next year as well. As for our equipment, I had mentioned we got our station printer. We got a Kia Sarah from Tex Imaging. It was a replacement 10-year-old Konica printer that it just wouldn't work anymore. So it was kind of like if anybody's seen the movie Office Space, that was our printer. So we're done with it. They want to take it out to the field and have their way with it. It served its purpose for a long time, and we squeezed the juice out of that thing as much as we could. As for equipment, the only other thing we had to do was our Altel drone. The controller needed to be replaced. It was a minor purchase, and so that once again, having that keeps that in the field as well. It's still an old drone, but it still works, and it's a good training drone for our officers, and it just augments the one that we currently use in the trees. So for a small purchase, we keep that one up and running as well. For miscellaneous items, as I mentioned, our Motorola P1 computer-aided CAD and a mobile client went live through Southwest Emergency Dispatch Center on December 5th. And I just want to say thank you to our IT provider who's put a lot of hours into this. I know he's serving a lot of communities. David says David has worked tirelessly on this, and he's got a lot of phone calls, and I know he's probably not sleeping very much because it's a big transition for a lot of different agencies. 70 agencies that he's being the IT provider for, and he's also the provider for us, and he does a great job. And I know that he's been answering his phone each time we call him. He's helped out tremendously. Without David, we couldn't have done it. And he's been just on point with this. And I know that it's challenging for him with a new commitment to a new program. But thank you, David, for all your hard work in this too, because he's working hand in hand with our officers that I mentioned before. Also, we had Shop with the Cop, which was Saturday, December 9th. And once again, this has been over 25 years now that we've partnered with our local law enforcement agencies and FOP Lodge number 25. We had 8 children there that accompanied 7 of our township officers for breakfast and lunch. And we did a shopping event at Walmart in Olmsted. If you can, please go to and check us out on Facebook, and you'll see that the most recent feed I just checked that came up here, and it's got pictures and everything, and there's a lot of nice comments, and it's just a wonderful event, and it's great that we're able to get back and provide to some of those that are a little less fortunate. So check us out on Facebook. Good. Also, the Ugly Sweater Run, sponsored by Roasted Coffee, was Saturday, December 10th at 9 a.m. The route was from Papa John's Produce to Roasted Coffee. That was a hit. Went out no problems, and we're glad to be able there to support and do traffic control for them as well. Also, I don't have it on here, but I just want to say thank you to our service department for some of the improvements that they've helped with recently, painting of our station inside for our break room. You guys did a terrific job, and I just want to say it to Eric, to your staff and everyone that did that. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated from each one of us there. Going on to our statistics, from November 14th through December 7th, we had a total of 1,050 CAD entries. We had a total of 15 reports. We had 14 motor vehicle accidents. We had 4 arrests, 86 citation, and 60 community engagements. Then I'd like to now say thank you to Trustee Kress for all of her support of the police department. And when I say that, I just don't mean me. I mean every officer there. Each one of the officers there, she's a touch point too. She doesn't miss a birthday. She doesn't miss a year of service. She makes sure that she recognizes each individual there every time. There's always, when I come to pick up the mail, there's a little card, it'll say Ned, it'll say whoever. And I know that that is important to her, that she keeps those connections, those personal touch points, and she did it every time. And that is so important to our employees, that you feel valued and recognized. And I know that she did it not just it was genuine, it was from her heart. She truly did care about each one of us, and she does. She cares about each employee there, and you can see it. I know that at any time I could pick up the phone and call Jeanene if I had a question, and she would be there to be supportive, but she also challenged me many times and make me work outside of my comfort zone, if you will, and ask more questions. It was never an easy street, but it also helped me grow, and it helped my staff grow, because then I would go back and say, hey, look, this is where we are, but we have some more challenges, or we have some other viewpoints on this. And so it was never an easy street, but I grew tremendously from it, and so did my command staff, and so did my officers. It has been just the support that we get from our board of trustees and Jeanene is amazing. I talk to other chiefs in other communities, they don't have this close knit that we have here. It is very close knit, and it's so important. But Jeanene, thank you for all your support and all your caringness and challenging me and challenging our staff and recognizing each one of us individually for everything that they do out there. So we appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Mom.
That concludes my report. Unless Madam Chair, you have any questions?
Make it better. Thanks.
Move on to the administrator.
Thank you, Madam Chair. With all those good things, Jeanene, I'm at a loss for words right now. So I've only been here for a month and a half, but I feel like I've known Jeanene for decades. She's made this transition into this role very positive for me. She's taken my calls in early morning and late hours, and we've always talked at great lengths. And really, when you look up in the dictionary, the definition of public service, I mean, Jeanene's name is right there. She is really the gold standard of being a public servant, and I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of public servants. So, Jeanene, I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm going to still nag you well after you leave office to come and do some things for the township. So you have not heard the last of me by any means. Thank you. Thank you again. So with Jeanene departing, she has kind of included me and elected Cole to participate in a couple meetings. So the first couple items I have are some of those meetings. So the first meeting I was able to attend was the Olmsted High School local scholarship brunch. This was a great event. I had the opportunity to attend. It was great to see how much money was raised for students participating in college or for going out into the trades. So I think the number that they told us was about $150,000 for this year was raised. So it was real exciting to see the students there and the joy on their faces that they're able to go ahead and further their career in positive ways. I also had the opportunity to attend the Polaris Southwest Regional Business Advisory Council meeting. This was another great meeting. It was held at the Cuyahoga County Maintenance Garage off of Harvard. They brought in local businesses, one which included the county, and basically Polaris is a trade school. They invited the students there to interact with these businesses and really engage and try and get them to take the next step in their career. I also had the opportunity to attend NOACA's meeting. This was a great meeting. There was some long discussions on certain items that necessarily didn't pertain to the township, but the result of that meeting, I got to talk with Pam Davis, who is moving forward with our 208 plan for including some sewers on Fish Road. So that is on their next subcommittee meeting. Mr. Cole and I had the opportunity to meet with Tony Ramos last week. He stopped in. He is from NOPEC. Again, he just wanted to kind of go over some things with us, give us an opportunity to ask any questions, see if there was any issues from any of the residents. But Tony, he's a really genuinely nice guy. So if any of the residents do have any questions on NOPEC and some of their current rates or anything of that nature, I mean, you can always go through us, but he's available for any questions as well. The board had, over the past few months, the board has been discussing some IT services. On the agenda tonight, you will see a resolution for Simvey, that's resolution 141, 2023. Overall, there was a total of 4 vendors that the board narrowed the list through. Based on all their qualifications, they selected Simvey to move forward. And then I didn't want to steal Chief Method's thunder tonight, but I didn't see it on his agenda. So we did receive a letter from the city of North Olmsted dated November 9th. It's just an appreciation for a response call from our to our fire department from them. They just wanted to extend their the quick responsiveness and good interaction. So Chief, just wanted to say thank you. Also wanted to update everybody on the Hollow property meeting, I apologize. This is the subdivision off of Lewis Road. The developers did stop in last week. I think we had a very healthy conversation. No decisions were made. It was just a very high level conversation. We'll look to stay in touch with them as they move forward. And I think it's important that, the township sticks to its zoning and make sure that some of the items that we want to uphold are upheld. Also, last meeting, we received some correspondence from Mr. Ray Safadi. I think he was over Zoom. He had asked the board for a written response in regards to some drainage issues that he had some concerns about. The board did reply to his request. And talking with Mr. Matthews, there is a application to tie into that the sewer behind the soccer fields. So if Mr. Safadi would like, he could, by all means, come in, and I'd be happy to discuss with him and help him assist him in that application. Just wanted to update the board and the residents on the resident resource guide. I know this is something that Trustee Kress has been working on for some time now. We are pretty much at the point where the full proof has been approved. We're waiting on some small changes. But we anticipate that resident resource guide being mailed out probably the 2nd or 3rd week of January. We are working with Master Printing on that. Also wanted to update everybody on the sanctuary. We sent a letter to Mr. Glory to pretty much clean up his property. There were some issues. The site has sat stale for a number of months. And so he has reached out to me and he is in the process of complying with those requests. And then moving on, I just wanted to mention that Eric and I did meet over at the soccer fields. And I think at the last board meeting, we had some discussions. Actually, I think Trustee Kress brought to our attention about the soccer field drainage. Eric and I met. We are planning to get that tied in over the next few months. So Trustee Kress, you will see that happening sometime soon. Willow Grove, that's another subdivision on Bagley Road. They are at the Planning Commission on the 14th. There's been a lot of discussion about it and a lot of back and forth. So we are looking forward to that in front of the Planning Commission on the 14th. And just wanted to give everybody some updates on our town center so we had hired Guide Studio a number of months ago to kind of put together a feasibility study for our town center. I think at the last board meeting, I may have mentioned where they were in the process. They have come back with a list of what they consider the township's priorities, as well as some budgetary numbers for those improvements. And really the big improvements revolve around some of the improvements to the streetscape and kind of that downtown area, which include a multi-use path connecting the schools. So we are dovetailing that with the opportunity from the state capital budget for these one-time strategic community investment funds to put forth applications to try and fund some of these projects. So we're putting together 2 applications. One is for the town center improvements, and then the other is for phase 2 of our dog park and nature trail improvements, which will include a pavilion, some benches, and it's really planting trees and some wildflower plantings throughout. So that's all I have to report tonight. Unless there's any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, legal counsel.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Well, we have heard a lot tonight about Jeanene Kress. And I think there's only one thing that I'm aware of that's been missed so far, so I'll explain it this way. First of all, I like to think of myself as a pretty quick learner. But it's only been over the past year or year and a half or so, I've learned that the way to Jeanene Kress's heart is with candy. I'd only known that a little earlier. So Jeanene, I will always do my part to make sure there's some chocolate candy from one of your favorite places that I like to bring it in from, bring it here. And otherwise, I'll just echo everything that's been said. It's all true and it's all very comprehensive. And I'll just add to it by summarizing, if you will, that you truly are a class act. And it has been a privilege working.
Thank you.
And I thank you very much.
It's high praise from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you. Jim.
If I could, I do have, you brought up before the meeting, I just want to touch on the road agreement.
Oh, sure.
Eric, Jim had checked, and this is kind of a comment, mostly a comment, not really a question. Jim had checked the county council agenda for when it approved the road agreement. It has approved the road agreement. And I just want everybody to know that because of Jeanene's efforts and, you know, especially Eric and Jim and rest of the board also played a small part, but mostly them, right? The agreement has been signed for $6.5 million to help maintain the county roads in Olmsted Township for the next 10 years, which is $1.5 million more than the agreement was 10 years ago, which is a significant increase, and the county has budgeted for that. And so I just wanted to thank you, Mr. Matthews, for all your work on that. I think that's a big testament to, you know, I mean, Trustee Kress, you oversaw the entirety of the last road agreement, and now we have a new one thanks to your
Yeah,
work.
that'll take you through 10 years.
Right.
10 more
So
years.
thank you all for that. And Eric, I just wanted you to know that they did authorize that full amount. So, and you did a great job budgeting for $500,000 this year. I know we're really close to hitting that in December. I know that's been your target. I'm just excited because not only does the agreement give you more things to work, like be able to bill for, but also a higher amount that you can bill for. So I just wanted to reiterate that they did pass it with, you know, 6.5 million, which is 650,000 each year. So thank you, Jim, for that, and thank you, Eric, for that.
Okay, and Brian.
Yep. So last but not least, I guess, not always last, but I do want to say it is budget season, so we're preparing, and we've talked to a lot of departments already about getting our budget completed. At least our temporary budget completed by the end of this month. So we're gonna have a special meeting more towards the end of the budget and pass the temporary budget. And then the final budget will be due at the end of February. So we'll be working on that too. So that's what I'm working on. If everyone knows me, I never wear long sleeve shirts, but today I wore a long sleeve shirt because it has a bulldog on it. And that's because it reminded me of Jeanene. So Jeanene is a true bulldog.
That's good and bad.
But I must say that she reminds me of Tri-C, not the community college, but she's very caring and compassionate and considerate. And I think I have a shoebox at home of all the cards that she's written to me personally about birthdays, just thank yous in general for coming to help out. She always talks about my daughter, asking how she's doing and things like that. So Jeanene's very compassionate. I appreciate her.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Brian.
Brian.
Okay, we have no old business, new business. The building department agreement with Inspection Solutions LLC. I'm going to read to approve.
Second.
Okay, to approve the building department agreement with Inspection Solutions LLC. Trustee Zver.
Yes.
Trustee Bolton
Yes.
and Trustee Kress.
Yes.
The 2024 Pinewood Derby sponsor race Cub Scout Pack 102 for $100. I'm going to move to approve.
Second.
Yeah, to approve the Pinewood Derby sponsor race, Trustee Zver.
Yes.
Trustee Bolton.
Yes.
And Trustee Kress.
Yes.
Okay, the real property drainage easement agreement with Olmsted Falls City School Districts for our parcel 263050021. I'm going to move to approve.
Second.
Okay, approve the real property drainage easement agreement. Trustee Zver.
Yes.
Trustee Alton.
Yes.
And Trustee Kress.
Yes.
Okay, item D, the FPA boundary modification request for the Fitch Road north of Cook Road. I'm going to move to approve.
Second.
Okay, to approve the FPA boundary modification request. Trustees Bear,
Yes.
Trustee Alden,
Yes.
and Trustee Kress.
Yes,
Item E is the agreement with the Shred Smart for the community shred event on April 20th, 2024 and October 19th, 2024. I'm going to move to approve.
second,
Okay, and to approve the agreement with Shred Mart, Trustees Bear,
Yes.
Trustee Alden,
Yes.
and Trustee Kress.
yes,
Okay, and this is just an FYI to everybody. The Board of Trustee meeting for Wednesday, December 27th has been canceled. This is our only meeting in December. So I just wanted everyone to know that. Item G is under new business is the strategic communication services with Dennis Kennedy. I'm going to move to approve.
second,
Okay, to approve the agreement with Dennis Kennedy, Trustees Bear,
Yes.
Trustee Alden,
Yes.
and Trustee Kress.
yes,
Okay, consent agenda items. Meeting minutes, November 15th, 2023. Payment of bills and payroll warrants 44440, 44580, vouchers 1597, 2023, 1688, 2023 to 1692, 2023, 1775, 2023 to 1782, 2023, and 1847, 2023 to 1850, 2023. EOs is 1598, 2023 to 1687, 2023, 1693, 2023 to 1755, 2023, 1744, 2023, and 1783, 2023 to 1846, 2023. I so move.
second,
Can you repeat that?
No.
Okay, and to approve the consent agenda items, both A and B, Trustees Bear,
Yes.
Trustee Alden,
Yes.
Trustee Kress.
yes,
Okay, this is for the police department for their new printer payable. This is a requisition payable to Dex Imaging for the amount of $6,457. $457. I'm going to move to approve.
Second.
And to approve the police department requisition for Dex Imaging, Trustees Bear,
Yes.
Trustee Alden,
Yes.
Trustee Kress.
yes,
Okay, here comes the fun times here. Reallocations. Resolution 135, 2023 is the reappropriation budget adjustment transfers. I'm going to move to approve.
second,
I know it was a long list this time.
Yeah, there was a long list.
We had to move a lot of
Tis
stuff
the
around.
season.
So, yeah, so, and to approve resolution 135-2023, the reappropriations, budget adjustments and transfers, Trustees Bear,
Yes.
Trustee Alden,
Yes.
Trustee Kress.
yes,
Resolution 136, 2023 is the expenditure department purchase orders. I'm going to move to approve.
Second.
And to approve resolution 136-2023, expenditure department purchase orders, Trustees Bear,
Yes.
Trustee Alden,
Yes.
Trustee Kress.
yes,
Thank you.
Resolution 137, 2023 is to establish a part-time, non-scheduled service department tech one position and appointing Cody Rhinus. I'm going to move to approve.
Second.
Okay, and to approve resolution 137-2023, the part-time non-scheduled service, have a typo there.
Yeah.
Tech one position, Trustees Bear,
Yes.
Trustee Alden,
Yes.
Trustee Kress.
yes,
Resolution 138, 2023 is the township attorney's annual base rate for year 2024 for Brochus, Johnson, and Briggs. I'm going to move to approve.
second,
And to approve resolution 138-2023, the agreement with Brochus, Johnson, and Griggs, Trustees Bear,
Yes.
Trustee Alden,
Yes.
and Trustee Kress.
yes,
Resolution 139, 2023 is accepting Tom Cole's resignation from the Board of Zoning and Appeals. I'm going to move to approve.
second,
And to approve resolution 139-2023, the accepting of Tom Cole's resignation from the Board of Zoning Appeals, Trustee Bear,
Yes.
Trustee Alden,
Yes.
Trustee Kress.
yes,
Resolution 140, 2023 is the appointment of Mary Betta to the Board of Zoning and Appeals. I'm going to move to approve.
second,
And to approve resolution 140 2023. The appointment of Mary Vetta to the Board of Zoning Appeals, trustees Bear,
Yes.
trustee Alton,
Abstain.
and trustee Kress.
Yes,
Resolution 141 2023 is the IT agreement with Simvay Systems. I'm gonna move to approve.
Second.
And to approve resolution 141 2023, the IT services agreement with Simvay Systems, excuse me, trustees Bear,
Yes.
trustee Alton,
Yes.
and trustee Kress.
yes,
And resolution 142 2023 is the 4-mill safety services renewal levy. I'm gonna move to approve.
second,
And to approve resolution 142 2023, the 4-mill safety services renewal levy, trustee Bear,
Yes.
trustee Alton.
Yes.
Trustee Kress.
yes,
Okay, and I don't have anything else.
Let me make sure there's no
No question.
chats here.
Okay.
No, there's no chat online.
Okay.
How many do you have?
5.
There's 5, well, 4 now, there was 5. We're not sure who dropped out.
Okay, and I am gonna move to close the meeting at 7:57.
second,
Okay, and to approve adjourning, we can all leave, trustee.
Yes.
Trustee Alton,
Yes.
and trustee Kress.
yes,
All right, Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
that was good. Take care. Take care.
What time are you coming here first?
Yes, I'll be here, I'll be paid.
No, so.
Unless things change, which I have no idea. what's
Well,
Yeah.
hopefully if they do change, they let you know well before.
Well, I hope so.
Because Dave has to travel for that.
I know.
When have you got to get in the road? You know,
Like he said,
It's probably gonna say.
11-ish.
11.
He's gotta leave by
Is the meeting at what, 1?
1, no, 2.
Yeah.
But he wants to be
I'm
here.
gonna do, yeah, definitely call Mary before.
Yeah, she may not know anything.
Because then you guys are going down right from here.
Yes.
That's right.
Down here. They know someone is, which is,
There you go, Lisa.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go. She's gonna say.
Yeah.
What's the day? By the time you get.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for stopping in.
Nothing, I would imagine, wouldn't you? I don't know, maybe not, maybe. That would be, well,